Chill, man. You alright? Hey,
I ain't alright.
it ain't gotta be like this, man.
Don't gotta be like this.
We can talk.
I just wanna go on by my way.
Hey, just chill for a minute. Just let me talk to you, alright? I'm gonna put mine down, you put yours down. Let's talk.
I just wanna go on by my way though.
Hey, everything gonna be alright, bro. All we gotta do is talk, alright? Hey, I done been there, dog. I done been on that side. All you gotta do is talk to me, dog. What's wrong, man? What's wrong?
A lot of things going on.
Alright, you gotta put that down though so we can talk. And let's talk about what you got going on. I promise you. Bro, I ain't gonna call the police or nothing. But you gotta talk to me, alright? You can't do it like this. Let's just talk, bro. You wanna make some money? Let's talk about making some money. Alright? Alright? This ain't the life you wanna live, bro. Come talk to me. I'm putting mine down now. Come on in. Come talk to me, man.
This is my brother, man.
Alright.
My little brother.
Let's talk about your little brother in the house, dog. Let's get from out here. Alright?
Yeah, I saw that clip a couple times this week,
Yep.
and I knew you were coming on. And I know I do a show with y'all, and I know y'all are way better men than I am. And I was like, yo,
Yo,
listen, like y'all, I have a feeling that y'all could kind of relate to this. Like y'all could relate to this a little bit more than I can, because
yeah.
there is not a world where someone is gonna be in my backyard with a firearm, and I'm drawing on him with a firearm, and I'm not blowing his head off. It's not happening. I don't got it in me. So walk me off the ledge. I don't know.
Yeah.
What y'all think about this?
I
Like,
mean, interesting part about it is
yeah,
when I saw the clip,
yeah,
I said, okay. I said, you see, it's just another black boy crying for help, and he doesn't know how to. So when babies need help, right? When you try to communicate something, what do? They
cry,
cry.
cry,
When they become toddlers, what do?
cry, whine,
They act up.
act up, act up.
But if they never learn how to communicate and how to express a feeling or whatever, they become teenagers. And then nothing happens. They still don't learn it. Then they become that kid. Then he's in your backyard. Right? He
With the
didn't
gun.
really want to rob the guy. He was just trying to figure out. He's like, yo, his friends probably like, yo, you want to take care of your cousin? This is what your brother. You gotta go and do B&Es. He just went to the wrong house. You know,
It seemed like he went to the right house.
but he went to the right house.
Absolutely, yeah.
He went to the wrong house, but the right house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, because he's like, yo, you need money, man. You need a job. Talk to me. And you could tell this kid, because he could have went crazy like, nah, bro, like this is a setup. You want me in your house so you could tie me up and call the cops. He's like, yo, bro, I'm not gonna call the cops. I'm not gonna shoot you. Like, just talk to me. And the kid went in the house, put the gun down, and they probably had a conversation. And it just brought me back to, so in Brooklyn, there's a company called Exalt. It's a nonprofit. And what the city does is when a teenager does a crime, regardless of what it is, the courts give them a second chance. And they say, look, we're going to partner you with Exalt or a company like that,
Right.
and you're going to go with mentors.
okay.
So almost 10 years I've been taking these kids on,
Wow, okay.
right?
All right.
10 years.
Yeah.
These kids, gun charges,
Wow.
robbery,
Wow.
burning a girl's hair in school, like
Wow.
wild stuff.
Yeah.
Guns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like real serious stuff that we probably never even did.
Yeah.
But these kids are 15, 14
Yeah.
in gangs
At that age,
at that age.
where it could be,
And a lot
it
of
could
them,
change their life. It
a
could
lot
change
of
the
them,
whole thing.
not to bring it back, but to bring it back, to make it make all together. Most of those guys didn't have fathers in their life.
Right.
They don't have. Both parents weren't there.
Right.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, when I see that video, I'm surprised that probably at the end or probably inside. That's why he was like, "Yo, let's get off this camera," because he knows that there's a camera out there. So he's like, "Yo, come inside."
It's
So-
his camera.
Yeah, but he probably, I guarantee you, there was a hug that night.
Right.
That guy never probably got a hug from, like, a man. He probably never got a hug from his dad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's a hurt boy.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, even with those programs, I remember most of those kids changed their life. Yo, one of them, Galaxon, shout out to Galaxon, he ended up going to college, right? He ended up going to college, graduating. He's working with me still,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He was part of the intern program, which is they call it internship, but it's like a mentorship internship.
Yeah.
So the program pays these kids. So not only do you not go to jail, right?
Yeah. You get
Go
a
into the
job.
program.
Yeah.
They pay you to be part of this.
Okay.
So if you decide to go the opposite way, now it's on you. You're going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to Rikers.
Yeah.
But we're giving you an opportunity, so you can't. So the DA's office is like, yo, we're giving you a shot. And a lot of these kids. Now, I had one time where this kid was not like, he was from Brownsville.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo,
Niggas wasn't
'cause
clicking.
I was like, because you have to have a certain dress code. And all he wanted to do is wear T-shirts, a white tee.
Yeah.
And so I said, yo, the program states that you can't dress like this.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I can't. And I was like, I can't wear church clothes on my block. I can't walk down my block with this clothes. I said, okay, so put it in the bag, and when you get here, change. And then he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Couldn't
And
get
so
past that.
he couldn't get past the block. And I had to tell him, like, most of the people that you can't walk past don't own on that block. They can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Except
that block
kill 'em.
is still going to exist past all of us. You need to grow past the block too.
Right.
You can't let the block dictate your future. If you don't do this, you're going to jail.
Any of those
And he
kids?
chose that.
Any of? Oh, we chose to go back to jail?
Yeah. That's the one kid.
That's
man.
crazy.
I couldn't.
Wow.
Any of the kids
I
that you
remember-
mentioned that you mentored have they ever been in your home?
In my home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the mic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, a few of them, because you know, it's interesting about exposure, right? And sometimes I look at exposure. I remember a couple years ago, a family, a family friend, someone close to the family. This kid was like, at the time, he had to be like 8, and he's with both parents separated. He lived with his grandma, right, in the city, and he hated his life at 7, 8 years old. So enough so where they were walking across the street one day, and this kid was like, at the green light, try to run and get hit by a car. So when they thought it was an accident, right? They thought it was an accident, and they were like, "Oh, you okay?" He was like, "Yo, I was trying to do that. I was trying to kill myself at 7."
That's crazy.
So they put him in a home, right? They did evaluations on him. They put him in the hospital, actually, not a home. They put him in the hospital, did psych evals on him, and one of the ways, the stipulations for him to come home was like, you know, they had to like go through this process with him. But then a suggestion was to for us to take him in,
You.
me
Wow.
and my wife and I.
Okay.
So I said, my first reaction was no,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be real, man.
I'm listening to you.
I said no because my son comes from a very happy home, and I didn't want that type of exposure of negativity in my home. I didn't want.
Could they say a bad apple ruins
Yeah,
the bunch?
I didn't want my son to have that in his presence 24/7, sleeping in his room, talking to him when we're not there. My wife was like, no. And the other part about it is, even though as much exposure as I wanted to give kids, right, sometimes a kid that hates his life, you're going to show him what a good life looks like.
Yeah. He might hate his life more.
He might hate his life more.
Yeah.
I come home, so of course my wife says, no, we're taking him in.
Okay.
So I said, okay, all right, remember that. I come home that night, walking down the steps. My son always greets me, runs to me, Daddy. You know what this kid said? What do you think, Ron? What do you think?
Who, your son?
No, the other kid.
Other kid.
What do you
I-
think? So
I
my
can't
son,
even guess it. I
my
can't.
son runs up to me, Daddy, welcome home.
Yeah.
What does that kid say?
I have no idea.
Daddy, welcome home.
Okay.
So my son says, whoa, that's not your daddy. That's
Yeah.
my daddy.
Right.
Beef starts right there. We go walk the dog, right? We go walk the dog, and the kid is like, oh, I want to walk the dog too. So he's trying to be, he wants that.
Yeah, he wants it.
So he's like, oh, I want to walk the dog too. So my son is walking the dog. So he's like, no, you can't walk the dog. It's a pit bull. Like, you know, the dog don't know you like that. He might drag you down, like, you know. So the kid kicks my dog. What do you think my son does?
Kick
Pounds the kid.
Okay.
Pounds the kid out. Yo, you hit my dog? Bip, bip, bip.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
So now this is the type. So anyway, long story short, it lasted a week.
Okay.
My son got into like 3 fights with this kid in like a span of a week. Whipped him out like 3 times. I'm breaking up fights. This kid is cursing in my house. My son is beating him up because he's like, you can't curse in my house. You can't say bad words. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm looking at my wife like, yo. So one day I'm at work. Something bad happened. And then my wife made the call like, yo, come get this kid, man. Like, this can't work. So,
Damn.
so exposure in certain levels is one thing. You know, I brought one kid because I knew he had no family to go to Thanksgiving. So I was like, you know what? Come over. It's going to be a bunch of different people, so it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Yo, he started crying
All
at
right.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
You know, which was cool. We embraced him. Everybody was like taking him in.
Yeah.
But it was like you could see how people are affected by the families, man.
Yeah.
So when people don't want to, when people think it's just like nothing's gonna happen, we're just gonna raise a kid because a baby is just gonna be a baby. No, a baby's gonna grow up
Yeah.
to be a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this cycle, you gotta break it.
Absolutely.
So if you can, you know, you make your marriage work. You make your families work. You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, if you don't have, like this, that's why there's like this, you meet a woman, you marry her,
Yeah.
you court her or whatever, you date, you marry her, and then you have a baby.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have a baby first,
Nah,
and then
try to work it out.
and then try to work it out. That's me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Baby, because that's what I saw.